Hi, this is Juan from Boynton Pro Audio in the Music Square, and today we're checking out the very cool Quilter Pro Block 200. Everything that you heard in that music clip was done with this. All of the guitars, both the clean and the sort of lead line dirty guitar, and the bass were all done with this, this incredible 200 watt little tiny amp. This is sort of a continuation of their Tone Block series, and what I thought was really cool about this one that they included that I kind of felt like the Tone Block was sort of missing, or things that I wished it had, it includes reverb, and it includes an effects loop, which is very, very cool. We also have a limiter control, a tri-Q, which kind of goes from a flat setting to sort of a mid-scooped sort of tone, and then what it does is it kind of lops off some of the bottom end, sort of like a high-pass filter. So that's especially handy if you're using any sort of distortion pedals or things in front of that to kind of get rid of some of the bottom end that just sort of muds up the sound. The reverb sounds fantastic. You can actually hear that in the clip. And then what I also thought is very cool, and they include with a bunch of the other Quilter stuff, is this high cut feature. So if you're doing something like the bridge pickup of a Telecaster and you want that twang and you want that bite, but you don't want it to be just super, super bright. I mean, if you've ever plugged a Tele into a Twin, it's a great sound, but it can take your head off if you're not careful. And this is great because it's dynamic enough that it really affects it, but it's subtle enough that you don't feel like you're missing something. It doesn't make it sound too dark. And you've got this great master volume control that will take it from anywhere from 0 to 200 watts. And what's great about the Quilter stuff, and I have to admit, when I first heard about these amps, I was kind of pessimistic. I think we've all seen these little block style amps in the past, and you plug into them and they tend to leave a lot to be desired. But that's not at all the case with the Quilter stuff. It's very, very dynamic. It's very touch sensitive. It responds a lot in the way the tube amp would, but it's just incredibly consistent, and it's 4 pounds. It's basically the size of 2 stomp boxes next to each other. So you can put this in your pedal board, you can put this in a rack case, or you can just put it in the included little carrying case and just go off to the gig. As you can see in some of the videos that I've done, I'm a big fan of giant, 100-watt amps. And when you're carrying around 60 to 80 pounds of amp, that can get a little tiresome. So there's something very cool about having it in a very compact and easy to grab package. I have a Quilter Aviator head myself, and I just think they're fantastic. They sound great, they feel great, and to really put it through the test, I actually listened to a recording that I'd done, just a live recording from a performance I'd done, and I actually had to stop and think about, was this a gig done with the Quilter, or was this a gig done with a tube amp? So if it's good enough to convince the audience and it's good enough to fool yourself, I mean, that really speaks a lot for it. Another great option that this has is it has a dedicated direct out. So you can just run an XLR straight out to the board if you want to. You can still have a cabinet connected and then have the direct out as a blend, or if you just really want to have an all-in-one excellent pedal board rig, just stick this on your board, run the direct out to front of house, and just have the monitor engineer give you your guitar and the wedges, and you're pretty much good to go. So I don't know that for the money you're going to be able to find a better, compact, pedal-friendly, great guitar amp that will also work as a power amp for your favorite preamp. So I mean, if you just pick up some power amps, you'll feel that they're oftentimes way heavier than 4 pounds. So to throw this in just as a power amp for your rig, would be a great option. So definitely check these guys out. I really can't say enough good things about them, and don't buy the hype of the solid state deal is not as good as the tube stuff, because the technology is there now, and I think Quilter has sort of paved the way with that. So if you want to hear more like we did in this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and stay tuned because we have some really cool stuff coming for you. All right, thanks. Take care.